Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the Beardy Boys. Today is May 30th, so one more day in May, and then here we are into June.
Our birth month.
Exactly, mine and Chad's
Y'all birthdays too?
Oh,
Yeah.
all three of us, all three of
No,
us.
my birthday's in August, but I have like so much fucking family in June. The first is my uncle, the 8th is my wife, the 9th is my cousin, the 10th is my sister, the 12th is my grandmother, and the 14th is my mom's ex. That's so he's like a father to me, so they're still
Yeah.
cordial. So I have
So,
all these. When is your birthday?
22nd.
Okay.
The 8th.
Hey, you're singing with this as my wife.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
That's cool.
There you go.
So yeah. Also, it is also Micah's a fellow Beardy bro who
Yeah.
just so happens to.
Dude, it would
on
be
the channel.
dope to have him on here.
I don't think he'll ever appear, but if he ever does, I mean, he would fit in. I mean, he's got
Bring
an
the
epic,
beard.
Oh, he's
Yep.
got an epic beard just like all of us. So yeah.
He's
so,
got some foliage on his face.
So yeah, everyone out there, want to thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of the Beardy Boys. This is episode 12, and today, I guess let's just go ahead and yeah, there you go.
whatever. However the camera's positioned, you use whatever it is.
No gang signs. No gang signs.
Um, um, um.
Oh god. There we go. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, 12th episode of the Beardy Boys, and we passed 200 subscribers. I think it was last week. So appreciate that so much, and
Hell yeah.
also, just keep the ball rolling, keep this train a moving, and hey, we started last week with Rick. The last week before that, we started with me. So, Chad, how about you lead us in this time with a topic that you feel like you have to mention?
Well, it's been a rumor that's been going around for a couple of days, but it seems as though it's been dispelled completely at this point. But you can just never say never. But there were rumors. Well, that was said more in wrestling before he was ever born. But
Never say never.
the idea that one of these companies, like specifically PlayStation was the one that I heard the most, was going to try to buy CD Projekt Red.
Interesting.
Just imagine that. Imagine if like Sony got a hold of that shit.
Well, I mean, they would definitely make heads roll in terms of just like trimming the fat of all at CD Projekt Red that fucked up Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to see what they own.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Witcher being the
Cyberpunk.
biggest.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
And given the fact that they are in a little. You see, this is always what happens. There's always something that happens that puts a company in dire straits, and then one of the big boys comes in, swimming in, smelling blood. They're like, hey, you interested in selling?
Yeah, well they said, it's purely a rumor and that they've done so well with The Witcher that it could keep the company afloat despite anything else that's happened.
Well,
Yeah, just to do like a little fact checking. The CEO's like, yep, it's not for sale.
Yeah.
well, I've heard it all before, because I remember back when WCW, they were talking about selling WCW, and Ted Turner was just like, no, there's no offer on the table or anything like that. 2 weeks later, we have signed a deal with AOL, like AOL and Time Warner.
Yeah.
And that was
True.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
they do it to save face, and I understand. Because
Yeah, they
You
wanna
have
build
to.
Yeah, either build hype or either keep it discreet so people won't try to swoop in like Microsoft, because Microsoft been buying companies left and right. And
Like crazy, yeah.
I'm a big PlayStation person. Like I have my little display right here.
Mhm.
I got my PS5 right here. See my PS5 controllers. My other room, I have my PS4, 3, 2, and 1 connected to my TV. I'm a PlayStation whore. Simple
There's
as that.
Nothing wrong with it.
But even I know they've been fucking up for the past couple of years.
Well,
Like hard.
and they're trying to correct course because here over the weekend with them announcing the Metal Gear Solid remake.
Yeah.
Also with the the announcement of Marvel Spider-Man 2, which or that had the gameplay footage that showed Kraven the Hunter and Venom in action. It's like, damn, that's
The
gonna be
symbiote
awesome.
suit.
There's
Yeah.
not a damn thing wrong with their hardware, though. I mean, they
No.
probably have the most impressive hardware, in my opinion,
In
with their
terms of
controller
consistency,
alone.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like, what are you going to do with it?
Well,
That's what it comes down to, and now they're making up for that.
they're trying to, and honestly, it after God of War Ragnarok, it was a bit of a dry spell, and
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
how it goes. Unfortunately, that because
Hell, we've all been there.
yeah, but I would say Spider-Man is like Spider-Man. A lot of people are hyped for it, and also I'll say this: PS5 had probably the best version. Or actually, no, actually, if I remember right, they had the second best version of Jedi Survivor because Jedi Survivor on PC was pretty bad. It was pretty bad on that, but they said that it was the most stable on Xbox, and it was pretty stable on PS5. And now that a lot of the hot fixes have come out, it's a lot better now. But still, though, it multi-platform games that come through, and if Sony has a good version of it, that adds to it. But it's those first-party exclusives that they really live for. They
Yeah.
they strive for stuff like that, and
Hmm.
and I would say them getting CD Projekt Red, I think that would give them a new game every 3, maybe like 4 years.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, I mean CD Projekt Red, they're a pretty like stable in-house studio, but if they have dev teams from like other studios who are like in between projects that can play test and help out with
Hmm.
Q&A in it, QA testing and all that, I would say that would probably be a benefit. It'd be a boon to CD Projekt Red
Yeah.
because if you have QA testers that work on your stuff and it's just like, oh, so there's a bunch of problems here on this. You need to delay at least 6 months and let us help you do bug fixes and stuff like that.
Right.
Because then you'd get Sony Santa Monica, you'd get Sucker Punch, you'd get all these other dev studios who could dedicate X amount of people to helping you, and
Yeah.
I think that would be a benefit, but I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, cool. I mean, I would say I would prefer that over them going and selling out to
Xbox.
Microsoft right now, because Microsoft has shown me that since they've taken over, with the release of Redfall alone, they basically their QA is just out the window. They don't have any quality assurance in terms of games. And
Yeah.
as much as Phil has done to turn the ship and right the ship, and he's done a lot of good in terms of like prioritizing backwards compatibility, prioritizing the Game Pass, and like all the deals that come with it. But what good is all that? What good is the Game Pass if the games are terrible?
Yep.
Well, the latest Forza game was fucking incredible. I know
No,
that
that's
that's a little bit,
no. A lot of
I mean,
people are high on that. A lot of people
there's
love that
certain
one.
things that are undeniably badass that they've done.
Yeah,
And it's just like they're
but
doing a fucking lot. You know what I
yeah, but
mean? They're doing a whole hell of a lot.
and
It would
and I
be
hope
much
that
different if a Sony game came out and was trash. They have unfortunately wiggle room in that area because they've had a lot of bangers.
well they have, and the only one that I can really think of that did not meet expectations was Days Gone, and even then,
Well,
Yeah.
after
that's
it
not
got
true.
well, even
The
then after it
newest
got patched,
the newest Halo was pretty big, pretty big shitter, pretty big
yeah,
stinker.
it was not the best, and they're still trying, but at the same time, it's like they've already quit development on the engine that they spent hundreds of millions of dollars on
Right?
just for that game. And I'm just like,
Why?
yeah, why? Why would you deliberately
Yeah.
do that to yourself when there are other? I know that there's other engines out there, such as the because here's the thing I love about Sony. Sony, whenever a new developer comes along, they actually all work together. It's just like Guerrilla Games, for instance. Guerrilla Games, who did the Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, whenever Kojima came over to Sony after his exodus from Konami, he basically went to all these other studios with the heads of Sony and basically was going to ask if he could borrow their game engines for free. So instead of having to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to get an engine that you could use for the next 10 to 15 years, instead he just went off and got the source code. Like, this Guerrilla Games handed it to him. They literally in their its own custom box gave a beta unlocked version of their new engine and gave it to Kojima. And Kojima basically shaped it and added stuff to it over the span of the last few years that made it his own. And thus,
that was Kojima Productions.
Yes, exactly. And thus, he didn't have to do all that legwork and spend hundreds of millions of dollars to get caught back up to speed. And thus, it's because cohesion. It's because you're supposed to work together. If you work together and you build yourselves up together, then all the better. All the better for your overall company. But
right
where everything at Microsoft is still pretty fresh, because they're like, because you mentioned Forza. The Forza is great. The new Forza is great. It's because it's been an in-house product of Microsoft since 2004, when they originally bought the rights to the Forza franchise, and they've always been consistently good. But I would say the biggest thing is that these new companies that are coming in, Arcane, Bethesda, MachineWorks, all these companies have been in disarray for a while, because when they were bought, they were already in disarray. I mean, Machine Games and what they did with Wolfenstein Youngblood, and what they and it was just an atrocity. And then of course you look at the Doom franchise, the Doom, you look at id, they're usually really good, but because of the whole Mick Gordon situation, that basically threw everything into flux, and there's nothing they could do. And it's just crazy to me, that I know Arcane usually knocks it out of the park, but this isn't Arcane's main studio in Lyon, France. This is actually Arcane Austin, their B team.
Yeah.
And their B team is inexperienced and basically doesn't have that many experienced game developers. And when you look at Redfall and everything that it is, just like, it shows. Oh, yeah. I see the kitty. I see the kitty.
Hi there, bud.
Aww.
He just said, "I'm coming up here. There's nothing you can do about it." All right, get down, brother. Come on. Go on. All right, maybe not. This guy usually attacks me. He's not ever this nice. So this is a front, by the way. His food bowl has to be empty. There's no way it's not. Anywho.
Yeah.
But I agree. Microsoft, they just want the property. They're trying to be like the Disney for game studios.
Oh, straight up.
Well, I mean, their attempted acquisition of Activision. I mean, holy shit. That is a big one.
Is that still a thing? Isn't it still something they're pushing for?
They're pushing for it, but they got blocked by I think it was a court case in Europe,
the UK or something.
A court case in Europe basically just put a stone wall in front of the acquisition becoming complete. But there's still talk that it may in fact go through. Just how it works, a little bit of greasing of palms here and there. And, eventually some documents wind up getting redacted or
handing out
shredded.
Some spotted dick.
Exactly. And basically, I think eventually it will happen. And if it doesn't, then Activision better hope and pray that they have a reversal of fortune, because the way their stocks have been going since Overwatch tanked, since the player base
tanked.
Oh yeah, there's a lot that they have that that is at their disposal, but they're not using it properly, and they basically have just tanked in so many ways. And Blizzard, as much as I think World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and all of these games that they have that are mainstays and are keeping them afloat, eventually those are going to fade away because World of Warcraft is almost 20 years old at this point. And I love World of
Hopefully
Warcraft.
Diablo does well. I've heard a lot of good things about it and some fears of how bad it might be hammered with microtransactions.
I hope so too. And I know that there was someone who was trying to defend Diablo Immortal. They were trying to defend it, and I'm just like, you can't defend it. It's literally one of those things and facts of the internet right now. It is indefensible because Diablo Immortal is basically, and people are just like, well, it's not that bad on pay to win. It's still bad on pay to win. You have to pay like $70 in order to get all of the shit in order to just beat the game. Like a mobile game, dude. A mobile game.
Yeah, that's insanely lame.
It is. And look, I get it. This is how a lot of companies have got super rich super fast. But do you know the number one thing that you do not need to do? You do not need to piss off your main player base. You have to, in some ways, please both of them. You have to please the new player base by appealing to, new consumers who don't know any better and will do the pay-to-win stuff. But you have to keep your main player base because
the Fortnite crowd, you can call them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you erode away at your foundation and you basically kill all interest in your franchise to begin with, there's not going to be any new fans because all of your new fans are going to read Diablo Immortal is shit. That's all they're going to read online. And are they going to want to play
it? This is Activision, right?
No. Huh?
This Blizzard. Is Activision, right? Blizzard?
Yeah, Blizzard Activision.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say, because I think, isn't Activision part of Call of Duty or no? My brain is
they are the owners of the Call of Duty franchise.
Okay, because I remember reading an article that there's people who have like these, I guess these backward compatible like PC mods where they're playing like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, old Black Ops because the servers are shut down for most of these games.
Yes.
And a lot of these people kept these games revived and different engines, but Activision actually shut those systems down.
Yes.
They sued the company and they're officially down. So people who were playing these old games because they loved the old Activision when they were actually good with Modern Warfare 2. The original Modern Warfare 2, the original Black Ops 2 days, the Modern Warfare 3 days, the World at War days, like those Call of Duty games. This server had all those games, and you could just switch in between, and there was a big community.
Yeah.
But people were sharing the love of Call of Duty. But since Activision, and it was free. It was free. It was not paid to play it.
Yeah.
And Activision swoop in. It's like, this system's no longer going to be a thing.
Well,
we want you guys to play our newer games. That's the reason why we shut down our old system. So if since it's shut down, no one can revive the series, and it tanked their stocks and everything.
Well, you see, here's the thing about it. It's a lot like Bethesda. Bethesda, for the longest time, have been the champions and Steam. Bethesda and Steam have been huge purveyors of like modding communities, people who do passion projects. And I know that Steam was in a little bit of hot water for their creator program, like paid mods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which that opens up a very scummy door that is basically just gonna just devalue the market in terms of mods and everything,
right?
And just make it to where it's impossible for you to do anything. And honestly, I wish that there was a way for us to, companies to just understand, passion projects like that do not affect the overall sales of your new product. You see,
right.
if this company, if these guys, these modders were taking the new game, Modern Warfare 2, and making it free to play on this whole thing, then there would be a problem. I would understand an issue with that. But where it's these older games that have had the servers shut down and everything like that, World at War, and I know there's still peer-to-peer and like online multiplayer and that aspect and everything. But that's still, I mean, that by comparison of like what people liked back then versus now, you're basically causing a disconnect from your old school fans for no reason.
Yeah.
You're literally shooting yourself in the foot by alienating the people who made your company like to begin with. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
and I don't get that. If I, for instance, like me, how hypocritical would I be if, for instance, we were doing, we've done reactions now for almost 10 years. What now? If there are people out there who like our reactions and do highlights and stuff like that, do highlights of like our big stuff and all like that,
Mm-hmm.
like our biggest reactions and stuff like that. And I took that down. It's like you doing the compilations for the goons, Rick. It'd be
I was
like,
gonna say, I was waiting for you to make that comparison.
yeah, it's just like you with the goons. Which, by the way, congratulations on the goons gaming spot. I mean,
Thank you.
that's awesome, dude. But
Shorty's crying. I'm sorry. I don't know if
okay.
y'all can hear him. The
no,
cat's trying to get attention, and Shorty's just like, "But what about me?"
yeah. So, but like I was saying, it's like if I got pissed off at the people making those who were like old school fans and liked the old days, and I was like, no, I only want you to watch the new stuff, and struck it down. Like, how hypocritical would I be if I did that? How hypocritical? It's stupid. It makes no sense. And it's just like I know that I look back on the days where we had a completely different cast. People who I'm still friends with, some people who I'm not friends with still. But I look back on those days, and it's like, yeah, that helped shape the channel. And I'm not gonna punish somebody for liking the days back then. I mean, there's people who still say they miss the old days. It's like, yeah, I do too. But
I have a way almost like spot on comparison.
go ahead.
Me with Grizzy Fat moments. Let's say that let's say
Yes.
I'm on number 7 and I stop and I say I'm gonna stop. Like, no, there's no more Grizzy Fat moments. And then someone makes someone continues my torch and makes Grizzy Fat moments 8.
Yeah,
And I go ahead and strike the video down.
that makes no sense. Yeah,
Even though I said the servers are closed. In other words, I'm done with the Grizzy Fat moments.
you're done with it.
I'm done with it.
Doesn't mean someone else can't carry the torch.
Exactly. Doesn't mean someone else could swoop and say, okay, since he's done with it, this is a big, a fan favorite series. People love, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, Black Ops,
Right.
the OG ones, how everything was. They don't want a remastered, more modern looking version of it. They want the OG because that's nostalgia.
That's what they grew up with.
Exactly.
So someone swoops in, and you know what? I'm going to continue this, nostalgia or this cool trip, and I'm going to make Grizzly Fat Moments 8. And
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I made
Me
that,
neither.
I made that series. Strike it. No, just let it be. If it's generating no money, there's no advertising on the. I don't think there's no advertising or anything. It was just a mod pack.
Yeah,
that
Right.
People just had a server, and most likely it might be a loss to the person who's doing it, who's probably running it, all this kind of stuff. There's probably a loss on their end.
Oh,
I
sure.
don't-
To have a server costs money.
yeah.
Exactly. So obviously they're not gonna try to generate money. They may have like a donation link or whatever. That's a whole separate entity
But
itself.
that's to keep the server alive. That's not to pay for the game.
It's like coming out of their pockets. That's probably the fan base that wants to keep the servers alive, and that's how they could
Yeah.
basically keep it up. But they're not taking the property and trying to make money out of it. They're just trying to keep the nostalgia alive. And
Yes.
Activision just swoops in and is like, well, I smell oil, and this fucking bald eagle comes in and just cook it
Crushed
all
it.
and take
Nah,
it.
I heard oil. That shit mine.
I think they need a little bit of freedom over there.
Yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, overall, the state of like gaming and everything, all these companies being bought out, all the new kids on the block getting, having their shot at trying to make something. There's always going to be cycles, and it's just like, who would have predicted that Epic Games 10 years ago, before Fortnite, who would have predicted that Epic Games would be as big as it is?
Very true.
Not me.
Not me.
Wish it wasn't.
Because I remember, dude, I remember like the peak of Epic Games was when they did the Gears of War franchise when Cliff Bleszinski was still with them. And I was like, yeah, dude, these guys are awesome. I'd love to see more stuff from them. Then they do Fortnite. And the rest is history. And now it is a global phenomenon that has basically just scooped up every comic book character, every like pop cultural reference, every video game character, and it's just like, oh.
Just imagine, dude. They went from like being the Slayer of video games, like the band Slayer, to fucking NSYNC. It's awful.
God.
It's like, yeah, you guys made money, but like at what cost? Your fucking testicles?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are like one of the richest gaming companies in the world. I think they're let's see. Someone actually
fork knife.
Well, someone tried to have an aha got you moment when I said that Epic Games, hold on, let's see. Epic Games net worth. There we go. Epic Games net worth is approximately $32 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
That's so much money.
They had Ariana Grande do a concert. They had Travis Scott do a concert. They had,
Marshmello.
Marshmello. They had,
DJ,
even like MLK historian talking about the civil rights. They had all these different things you'd never think a game would have. Like, this is the same game that you can have Darth Vader fight fucking Goku.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Spider-Man can come out of nowhere and just beat Superman's ass. It's like all these different costumes comes in.
Superman's ass.
So it's okay. So I was looking here. Someone had tried to have an aha gotcha moment with me when I said that Epic Games was like one of the more valuable like video game companies out there, and then this guy was just like, Valve's still a thing, bro. Like literally in the comment section, he's just like, Valve's still a thing, bro. And I was just like, I literally had to go and be like, Valve's net worth is about $7 billion. By no means is that like not impressive, but compared to $32 billion, which is what Epic Games is worth right now. I was going to say, if Epic Games woke up tomorrow and saw that their net worth was $7 billion, all of their executives would jump out the windows of their high-rise, like, consecutively. Like, it'd be like a shitty swan dive, like, da-da, da.
Swanton, bleh.
Swanton, bleh. Yeah. They'd all, like, fall into their luxury cars and just, like...
Bugattis.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, all right, Rick. So, Chad, was there anything else you wanted to discuss on that topic, or was there?
No, and I'm actually gonna have to dip out here soon because it is 101.
Oh shit! Right, yeah. But, well, I guess I was gonna say, would you need to dip out now, or do you need to just stay here and another?
I've ignored 2 phone calls already.
Yeah. That's trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it needs to be, man, it needs to be. But
sorry about that. We just have to get off of the Minecraft streams when we're supposed to. If we stick around, every minute that we take in that eats away at my time that I can do this.
Yeah, true.
I know it's hard because we like get into whatever we're doing.
Some shit.
I think it would be best if we started like actually doing adventures and shit to make compelling content and just do our structural building and shit like I did today on my own time. I should have went with you guys.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I here moving forward, we're going to be like looking for the stronghold and then going to the end. And then there's other stuff beyond that. I mean, and we'll
that's
do
why
that.
I've been on the server a lot off camera.
Yeah, I've tried to, but like I can do it on mobile more often than I can just, fucking like this. But for some reason, it's telling me I need all these fucking mods and shit and not let me into the server. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. But anyway, dude, I hope that everything, everything goes well, like in terms of just like whatever's coming forward. But God, it's been a weird couple of days.
Oh yeah, for you, man. How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm all right, dude.
Good.
It's just, gotta go pick up her remains here soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got 2 bags sitting there in the hallway with like Godzilla and Hedgie.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a little shrine for our fallen animals.
Yeah. It is what it is, though, man.
Yeah, it
But
fucking sucks.
yeah, it does. But anyway, I guess Chad, I guess hit us up whenever you're ready to come this way, and I guess we'll see you later, dude.
All right, brother, take it easy.
All right, later.
See
All right,
y'all.
Chad.
There we go. So yeah, and then there were two. Yeah. So what's the topic you wanted to discuss today, Rick?
All right, I'll have you pick. All right, I have two in
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
So we can either talk about the showcase of PlayStation,
Okay.
or we could talk about GTA 6.
Huh. I'm tempted. Oh. Let's do GTA 6 because
Okay, so
the showcase. Go ahead.
have you heard how much money they're dumping into GTA 6?
I would say probably anywhere from like $200 to $400 million.
This is going to be the most expensive game ever created.
I don't doubt it.
They poured $2 billion into this project.
Probably.
And what was it? Yeah, and the map is going to be 3 times the size of GTA 5.
So there we go. So the Rockstar, the Rage engine has been a thing since 2006. I would not be surprised if they were going to, from here on out, use a different engine like Rage 2 or Rage Advanced or something like that. I don't know. But all I do know is that it's very impressive that they've maintained the Rage engine for this long. But I knew they were going to have to at least start development on a new engine. And to me, with that price tag, that sounds like they developed a whole new engine.
Yeah,
That sounds-
I think it's a new engine because not only, like I said, the map is 3 times the size of GTA 5. Not only that is they're actually using like almost like mirror, like GPS type of mapping of real major cities of Florida because the game is gonna be taking place in Vice City. In other words, Florida.
Hell
So
yeah.
you're gonna have like basically like almost exact replica of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, like those major, those major cities, Kissimmee. You're gonna have that type of structure of this map, and there's even talks because there's a lot of people that's I guess they found access to their codings and they're actually like trying to like decode and look at their the things that were unfortunately leaked. And apparently, ideas down the line is that slowly, instead of having like how like the online has like updates where you have like the casino buildings and you have
yeah.
the underground what you call
The
it
clubs and
bunkers,
stuff
the
like that.
clubs, the yachts. So what they might be doing is their updates might be them adding actual cities. So instead of it being like a yacht being a side of the on the side of the land, they might actually generate more land and make a new city, and to the point where they actually have like an exact replica of Florida.
Well, that would be interesting. And plus, here's the other thing too, because they created multiple areas in Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA 5. They did, they did the beginning part. Yankton, which is like the snowy area in the very beginning of the game with the heist going on. And then they did the island, the Cayo Perico, I think is what it was called. They did that, and it was its own island, but it wasn't a thing you could really stay on permanently. And in terms of like the casino, the yachts, the underground bases and stuff like that, that stuff is just is awesome all its own. But to add a whole new landmass, that would be interesting because basically what they could do is they could do the same thing that they did in Grand Theft Auto. They've done it in like the previous Grand Theft Auto games where the certain parts of the map are locked down because like the bridges are blocked or
Mm-hmm.
something else. And I would say that could be something that they could do. They could have a bridge and basically like have it be impregnable, and also like if someone tried to fly over, like it would automatically like blow them up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And basically, it would just give people something to look forward to if they were to do that online. And I could
Or
see,
at least
I could
or
definitely
a
see
sign
that.
saying in development.
Yes, or that. Honestly, just whatever Rockstar is going to do, I hope to God that they just don't pull the same shit they did at that one E3 panel where it was just like all it was just them sitting there and jerking themselves off over how diverse of a company they were. And it's just
Oh
like,
yeah.
look, I don't care how diverse you are. Are you going to talk about a game? No? Okay. Tuned out. And it's not the fact that I don't respect, their company, like whatever values their company wants to go for or anything like that. But I don't I don't like seeing companies like billion-dollar companies self-congratulate themselves by literally like going on like and eating up a 2-hour timetable on one of the biggest gaming events of the year, basically jerking themselves off over how amazing they are. It's just like, oh, we're so diverse and we're so amazing. Never mind the fact that we're tokenizing all the people that we're like hoisting up. It's like this is our first ever like African American like that board of supervisors. And it's like, I don't care. The fact that you all are tokenizing it and saying all this shit annoys me to no end. And
Mm-hmm.
then
I
of
agree.
course, you have like it just. I know there was the leak. When was it? About a year ago, when the initial leak happened.
I
Of
think
like,
I think like 7 months ago.
yeah. So just about, just like around like late last year. So I remember when that leak happened, and I saw all the stuff that they were planning and all the stuff that it looked like was in it. Just like, damn, that is insane.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
just
there's been more leaks in the last month and a half too. It's gonna be two characters. There's gonna be a couple, and
ah,
it's the first playable female character as well. And they're gonna have they're gonna be officially the first team that has the most advanced AI system when it comes to like the characters,
yeah,
like the AI, the random people, cops, whatever. Their
NPCs,
system,
yeah,
and they're gonna NPC. They're gonna have the highest intelligent NPC system for cops, for this, for a lot of different things. So it's gonna be amazing. And another thing that they leaked was their water physics, which
okay,
I'm gonna say it looks beautiful.
huh,
Let me see.
yeah, that's pretty insane.
How
If it's
smooth that is.
if it's actually able to do that in game, I'll be very impressed. But here's the thing that GTA Online, like original GTA Online, they basically, in order to like stave off hackers and stuff like that, they put in a bunch of junk code that slows the game down online. So instead of your FPS being, in the upper 100s, like 130 to 140, instead it slows it down to like 80 or 90. And I don't get why it does that, because it's just like you don't need to put in all this junky code in order to keep people from hacking the game. Instead, how about you let people have private lobbies again instead of like,
Bro,
because private lobbies, and you basically like beef up your servers and make it to where it's like, oh, these people's games can't really be hacked into, or it's
or the moment somebody activates a lot, activates coding or cheat codes, then you kick them out of that server immediately and put them into the server that's fine for cheating.
yes,
And then on that server they have their own profile, because sometimes what people would do, they would go on to hacked servers, spawn a whole bunch of money, and then disable their hacks, go back to being a normal server, and then they still have the money to transfer over. So
yeah,
maybe in a way for, because you're always gonna find people trying to break the game. So
always,
just be smart about it. Have them separate. Have a separate server for the cheaters, and they can have fucking millions of dollars. Obviously, you just put less things in those servers, so they don't have access to certain things, which is obviously a no brainer. And once they spawn back into a regular server, because if they buy a fucking penthouse in a cheated server, typically speaking, that penthouse is available in all servers because of just how the system currently is. If they just make two separate things, a cheating server where they can have everything, and then the real server where that doesn't transfer over. That's how I see it. That's how I probably would do it. Because you can't stop them. People are gonna try to find new ways to get and break games. But I just saw it. Their system, their engine is called Rage 9 engine.
Damn. Okay. I'm excited yet terrified of the prospect of just what all is going to be in the game. Cause
$2 billion in one game. $2 billion.
Yeah, it'll be nuts. It'll definitely be crazy. I mean, I won't know what to make of it, dude. And I wonder what kind of hardware we're going to need to run that thing.
$2 billion, Rage 9 engines.
Yeah.
Extremely looking, clear looking water physics. You're gonna have great lightings. You're gonna have basically your RTX. You're gonna have all these advanced AIs and NPC activities. There's gonna be all these different things they're gonna be added. Look how amazing Red Dead is. Redemption 2. How the NPCs, that game is phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is the same company, so it's like, imagine if they put that much work into Red Dead 2, and obviously like a 1800 style game. Imagine what they're gonna do with more modernized, and especially with $2 billion for the budget. So I'm hopeful, but at the same time scared.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. I just really don't know what all is just going to happen, but it's going to be insane with all the stuff that they have planned. Oh boy. Oh, so all right. Anyway, so I guess we're gonna kill it here. So
okay, so you didn't have a topic.
No, I was just gonna say because it's already almost like it's 1:15,
Gotcha.
so I gotta run and grab Lulu's remains because that whole ordeal. But anyway, I'll go ahead and take care of that. But anyway, man, thank you for joining in with us, and also I'd like to thank Chad, but he's not here anymore. So I guess until next time, everybody. Signing off. I'm Nate,
and I'm Rick,
and we'll see you later. Peace.